Serving Amherst and Amherst Township, your hometown television station, Amherst City Cable.
Well, hello, sports fans. Welcome to the Sports Show. I'm your host, Ty House, along with the big homie,
Alex Squires. Ty, how are you?
I am awesome, as always. It's been a minute since we had a chance to sit down and talk sports.
I know.
It's a lot going on.
Yeah.
We got the Major League Baseball playoffs popping off.
Yep.
We a quarter of a way through the NFL football season.
We're a quarter way through, and we haven't talked any football on the show.
That's
Have
what
we?
we're going to do today. We did a little preview of
Yeah, but
what's
since
going
games
on.
started?
And then we got the high school game started, and we was trying to get the best production possible to the peoples.
Yeah.
We got a little caught up. But we back.
It
We
requires
didn't-
attention,
We didn't,
yeah.
we didn't get canceled.
Right. We're not canceled.
We still here. And today we're going to talk about the first 4 weeks of the NFL football season,
Yeah.
as well as Major League Baseball playoffs, which get started tonight.
Yeah.
So-
Which people don't really watch very much anymore. You know?
I don't know, man. To me, this is the best part about baseball. This is when I watch.
Yeah.
This is when I'm most into it. I mean, like, catch me back in July.
Yeah.
I know about the Tigers.
Yeah,
you know?
and it's hard,
But
you know?
come down to the last 6 teams, 8, 9 teams left.
Mm-hmm.
I'm up on it. I'm like, okay, I'm locked in.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm locked in.
Yeah, I'm sure some other people like that. Just once the postseason starts, you know, that fantasy baseball stops. So I don't really care.
You gotta weed a lot. See, and I say I don't really do the fantasy. But anyway, let's get into this first 4 weeks of the NFL.
It's been exciting, man. It's been really exciting.
After 4 weeks, the best team seems to be the Cincinnati Bengals.
They look like it. They look like they have the best roster. That's for sure.
Man, I mean, they are impressive. That defense, and we knew that coming into the season.
Yeah.
That the defense was going to be stout.
Right.
But Andy is looking like he's worth some money that they paid him.
I guess.
I think they got a bye at
Yeah.
a perfect time.
Yeah, they had
You know-
AJ Green was hurting a little bit.
At the perfect time, caught a bye. You also got the San Diego Chargers, who me and you both agree is a definite threat in the AFC.
Like them a whole lot, yeah.
The Denver Broncos in the AFC.
Of course, yeah.
Who else we got in the AFC?
There's not much, man. There's really not much. If you break it down and go look at division by division, there's maybe one team in each division that
It's kind of weird not mentioning New England amongst the.
Yeah, and you know preseason. I mean, I know you weren't too up on it, but people thought New England was just going to be New England. You know, there wasn't really too much to be said about them not being really good like they usually always are.
There's a lot of pieces missing. A lot of pieces missing.
I mean, the Chiefs look like. I mean, Monday.
Oh, see, that's what we got to speak about because
they looked
New
like
England was shellacked last night.
Yeah, and the Chiefs looked pretty pedestrian their previous 3 games. You know, a lot of people talking about how there's no way they're going to go 13-3 again. You know, they probably won't.
They probably won't.
But Monday they looked like that 13-3 team.
They really did. They really did.
That one drive they had, it was their second scoring drive. It was a 3-play drive. They did they did what was supposed to look like it was like a fake. It was a double fake end around, but they actually handed off to Niall Davis, and he went for like 44 yards. And then Travis Kelce caught, their tight end, their new young tight end that's emerging right now. He caught like a 20-yarder to get him right there at the goal line. And then Jamal Charles is split out wide, and they throw him a quick screen, and he jumps into the end zone. 3 plays. New England couldn't find the ball. You know,
Right.
They had such interesting personnel groupings, and they did such interesting things with those personnel groupings. It was really cool to see.
That's that Andy Reid and Alex Smith.
Yeah.
In the lab cooking up, so you give them a little time to cook something up. And you know Andy Reid's an awesome coach, man. And really, Alex Smith is the kind of quarterback that he's been looking for all along. You know, even through the time when he had Donovan McNabb. Donovan McNabb caught so much criticism for not being a Alex Smith, not being more of a manager, a team manager.
Yeah, well,
you know what I'm saying?
let's not get carried away with Alex Smith here.
The numbers, like the show say, numbers never lie. I mean, you know, when
hate
it comes
that
to
show.
efficiency.
Who
know,
does that? Is that Michael Smith that does that show?
The homie Michael Smith and Jamel Hill.
I can't
Shouts
stand
out to them. We'll have to hit y'all on the Twitter, see if y'all are shot back on our show or something.
That would be interesting.
You know, but like I say, man, you got the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
You know, they definitely gonna do their thing, even though they took a pretty bad. Well, it wasn't really a bad beating, just the first 3.5 quarters.
Yeah, right.
And then Denver kind of kicked it into gear and sent it into overtime.
Yeah.
But Russell Wilson, man, is playing like, I mean, wow.
Yeah, he's playing real well. He really is.
Like he could possibly a Hall of Famer to keep this up.
Already.
He's already got a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you look at
Trent Dilfer.
If you look at but if you compare his numbers and Trent Dilfer's numbers through the first 3-4 years of his career,
yeah, that's fair. But you know, Russell Wilson, he's a good player.
He inherited a good situation.
Could you think of a better situation for a quarterback to be dropped into? And not just that.
Steve Young situation.
He's really, really, really a smart kid. He makes
really is.
He makes the right decision more often than not.
Hits you with that pump fake.
His decision making is, you know, it's pretty close to being the best in the league.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he just really isn't asked to do a whole lot with that offense. But whatever he is asked to do, he does it very, very well.
His numbers compare well with some quarterbacks that's already in the Hall.
Yeah, well,
at such a short year. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He got so much room to grow.
Yeah, he's got a ways to go, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
He's definitely a good quarterback. My Detroit Lions, I would definitely not be a Detroit Lions fan if I didn't bring those guys up in the conversation who are 3-1.
Yeah, they've looked good.
You know,
they looked good.
We beat on the Jets, got them tossing and toggling their quarterback situation over there.
I could see them, you know, winning 11 games this year and then winning 3 next year again. Like that's how they like to do it.
I mean, well, you know, that's where I put it at the beginning of the season. I said 11 games. 11 games would be really good with me. Yeah. Right now, we are what everybody expected the New Orleans Saints to be.
Well,
we are the New Orleans Saints right now.
Pretty much that same offense.
Basically.
Yeah.
And
Scott Linehan.
It's what they're missing. We got Lombardi in Detroit now.
Yeah.
We have Saints. We have the Saints offensive coordinator now, and that's what's missing in New Orleans. Everybody asking, "What's wrong in New Orleans? What's wrong in New Orleans?" You were giving Sean Payton a lot of credit that belonged to Lombardi. You know what I'm saying?
I think they're missing Darren Sproles there too. A lot.
I mean,
a whole lot.
That too. Even though they got a speedy youngster, I can't think of his name right now.
Yeah, Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, Cooks.
He's a wide receiver. He does a little bit different stuff, but they try to use him in a similar way that they use Sproles.
They struggling down there in New Orleans. And,
they really are, and I really can't make sense of it either.
It's a new day, man. It's a new day.
Yeah,
it's a new day.
New Orleans is struggling. New England,
older quarterback.
Yeah. I mean,
you know,
fair.
I mean, legends. And see, that's the reason why we speak on them, because you know, you say Drew Brees and Tom Brady, those are legends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just not just easy to let go. But I'm telling you, it's slipping.
But what about Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers is going to be all right.
Because he lit it up last week. But prior to last week, it was questionable.
You got to realize Aaron Rodgers first is running for his life.
Yeah, that's for sure.
The offensive line isn't all that good.
But he has been his entire career.
Right.
He's never had a great offensive line.
But when they were good, they had a defense. The defense
that's true.
Is a
that's
little
true as well.
shaky in Green Bay.
Yeah, it has been
now.
the past couple of years.
You know, and that's why you really haven't been getting anything. It's all been riding on Aaron Rodgers' arm. They thought Eddie Lacy is a reliable back, but he fumbles, and when he fumbles, he gets timid. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's just a sign of a young running back. Cause you fumble, you gotta let it go. Mm-hmm. You know, back on to the next play.
It's hard to, but
you gotta let it go and get on to the next play. You know,
it's just like being a pitcher. You know, you gotta have a short memory.
You let Adrian Peterson fumble. Mm-hmm. He's gonna be mad next time he touched the ball. He might beat some. I mean, he might.
Whoa, easy.
I'm sorry.
Easy, you can't say that.
I'm sorry. He might. I mean, he might run 89 yards or something like that. I mean, beat you in the score. That's what I meant.
Oh,
Yeah, you know, like,
okay.
Like he did last year, first game of the season against the Lions, first play.
Yep.
79 yards. That was embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing.
Touch back on the Lions. I think what's going to make the difference for them this year is their defense. Their defense looks not. It doesn't look. It's not a defense full of world beaters, but the front seven is very, very good. They're still a suspect in the back end, but as good as they are in the front, that masks a lot of them, a lot of the deficiencies they have back there, and they've been used to just playing in shootouts every game because the offense has been incredibly potent and the defense hasn't been able to stop anybody. And with the defense stepping up a little bit this year, it's going to make it a lot easier on the offense and then as on the whole team as a whole.
I give all the credit to the coaching staff.
Yeah.
I started with Jim Caldwell and the coaching staff that he assembled.
They finally got Jim Schwartz out of there. God.
I mean, you know, Schwartz is in Buffalo, and that's about the only thing good in Buffalo is the defense.
Well, that's the thing.
So.
He's a great defensive coordinator. And horrible head coach.
Exactly. I agree with you. He did a lot for Detroit, though. Kudos to Schwartzy. You know what I'm saying? He took over an 0-16 team. You know what I'm saying? And he got them to the playoffs. You know, and kudos to him. I mean, he brought an attitude to the Lions football team that we're not no pushovers. We're Lions. We will eat you. Yeah. You've been drinking the Kool-Aid.
No, trust me, I've wanted the Lions to be good for a while. I really have, because I like the makeup of their team. I like I'm a really big Matthew Stafford fan. I like him a lot. Not too. I'm not too big on Reggie Bush. Never been a big fan of him.
Right.
But, they have the best wide receiver in the world.
He's going to have
to. And they can do some good things.
Reggie Bush is going to have to hold it up because right now his help in the backfield is kind of injured. Man, you gotta watch out for the Giants also.
I don't think so.
Eli is, once he starts to understand that system that they're running, that Green Bay system, he's going to be all right.
I don't know.
You got to take a break.
What?
Here in a minute.
Yeah?
Yes, we got to,
I still don't trust that defense, and I still don't trust Tom Coughlin's
I'm a Giants fan.
Jim Tressel-esque coaching approach.
And it's won 2 Super Bowls. So we're going to go to a break.
Yep.
Come back, we'll talk Major League Baseball playoffs.
Yeah.
I want to get your picks, man, because I got to get my picks in for the game. So
that's right.
We'll be right back. This is the Sports Show.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Get caught buzz driving, and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom.
It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to the Sports Show. Fit to talk Major League Baseball playoffs.
Yeah.
But y'all got me a little excited talking college football, something else we haven't had an opportunity to touch on.
We
here.
meant to, and we will. We definitely will. We'll talk some college football at some time, yeah.
Especially with this whole playoffs and who's in and
yeah.
we hate Ohio State commercials rolling around.
And that's the thing is that it's too early because one-loss teams this year. If you lose a game, you're not completely out of it. Considering that they pretty much doubled. I mean, in essence, who's going to be in the playoffs this year, So there's not going to be 4 undefeated teams. And even if there is, one of them is going to be a team, not Boise, but a Boise-esque team, that people don't think deserves to be in there.
That's what I wanted to make mention about, kind of piggyback off what you said is, with the way the system is set up this year, coming down to 4 teams, that's not how teams have been. Their schedules are not set up for 4-game playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, your schedule's been set up for 4 or 5 years down the road. You know what I'm saying? So basically, your schedule is still under the BCS system.
Yeah.
Where you the teams that you're, which has actually made for a lot more competitive games. Like coming up this week, you got, I don't know how many top 25 games you got coming up this week. But we're going to get to that. That's college football, and oh my God.
I know what you're saying, though.
I know what you're saying, though. And we want to talk baseball.
Playoffs start tonight.
Yeah. We got the wild card teams, who are the Kansas City Royals. Haven't been in the playoffs, and let me see, what did the lady say? 10,565 days.
A long time.
And it's funny because I remember George Brett jumping around.
You do remember that, huh?
I remember that. Like
the Orioles. The Royals are a team that
1985. Sorry about that.
We talked about it on here before. The Royals are a team that they should have made the playoffs allegedly every year for the past 5 years. Every year, this is the year for the Royals.
Right.
This is the year they're finally going to turn the corner. This is the year they're going to be a contender this year, and it just hasn't happened yet until this year.
They finally snuck in as a wild card. They face the Oakland Athletics tonight in Kansas City.
Yeah, and they're I don't think they're dead last, but they're close to dead last in home runs and
Kansas City.
Yeah,
but they play the short ball well.
Oh yeah, they
are
play
amazing. They got amazing speed on that team.
That's the thing, and they play at Kauffman Stadium. That's one of the best pitchers' parks that we have. So there's not going to be a lot of home runs there.
I'm really
but they
nervous.
do everything else well. They defend. They're super fast on the bases. They hit for average. They
Tough
pitch.
team.
They pitch well. They starting, relief, closing. They do everything else well except for hit home runs, which is fine.
That's a tough team, man.
Yeah.
And like I kept hearing this is a consistent story that I truly feel. Watching them coming down the stretch, battling with the Tigers for that AL Central title. I had kind of got to focusing in on Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? And their pitching is amazing. And if you don't, like they say, if you don't have the lead by the 6th inning, it's a wrap.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Oakland is throwing at them. John Lester tonight, who they picked up from Boston earlier this season during the mid-season trades?
Yeah.
Or was it a little bit before the mid-season trades?
No. That trade happened before the deadline.
Okay. So he's going to take them out tonight against James Shields.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a good pitching duel. I'm expecting a low-scoring game.
Should be.
My heart say Oakland.
Yeah?
Well, my mind say Kansas City, man.
What's in your head?
At the same time, I think Kansas City fought so hard to get to where they at that now that they're there, it's too big for them. And Oakland is a team that's, they've been right there. If it wasn't for the Tigers, it'd have been Oakland the past couple of years.
All the momentum points in Kansas City's direction as
Coming down the
Oakland
stretch.
has just completely melted down. And Kansas City, last night, Monday Night Football, Kansas City destroys the Patriots.
Right.
That town must
On
be
fire.
a buzz
On
right
fire.
now. And now they come into a one-game playoff with what looks like a bad Oakland team that just can't beat anybody. I
really want Oakland to win, man.
so
but
badly to say Kansas City is going to win this game, but
it's back and
John
forth.
Lester has been outstanding, and not that James Shields hasn't.
James Shields brings that fire.
Yeah.
Like you say, the city's already electric. He just like that little piece of gasoline that it needs to just kaboom, and that could happen.
If they were facing anybody else besides John Lester, it would be a slam dunk pick for me in Kansas City.
Yeah, it's tough.
But with Lester on the mound, it at least gives Oakland a chance. Because they didn't just forget how to play baseball, Like if Lester pitches, 8 strong, one run ball or whatever, they can score 2 runs.
Right. I think sometimes we talked about this before on the show too. I think you done been somewhere so long. We talked about this about the Tigers. I think you done been somewhere so long. You kind of understand what it takes to get there, and as long as we get there, then we know what to do.
Yeah.
And Oakland made moves throughout the season that were playoff moves.
Yep.
So, you know, like you say, coming down the stretch, they did start to falter a little bit. But now, this is what we gave up Cepeda for. I mean, what did you do that for?
Yeah, that was a weird move. I
But
mean,
you put John Lester on the mound tonight, and it's time to pay off.
But the thing is, it makes sense. I mean, they trade Cespedes for Lester, but they did that after they had already acquired Jason Hamill and Jeff Samardzija.
Right.
You know, if they would have done that before, or not even before, but in lieu of acquiring Samardzija and Hamill, then it makes a whole lot more sense. But then you just acquired, I want to call Jason Hamill a frontline pitcher, but Jeff Samardzija certainly is. Jason Hamill was certainly pitching like one when they acquired him. But if you do that, I don't see why it's necessary for you to go ahead and get rid of the best bat you have in the lineup for another starting pitcher. I mean,
Best arm in the outfield, too. Who you got? Got to give me a winner.
Oakland.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Oakland, too. Kansas City, I mean, you got San Francisco and Pittsburgh tomorrow in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, San Francisco.
Bumgardner, man, is a monster.
He's been outstanding, and I think that, like you mentioned earlier about how Detroit, they know what it takes to get there. They know what it takes to go deep.
They scare me.
So do the San Francisco Giants.
San Francisco is the one team that scares me.
Yeah. I mean, Bruce Bochy, he runs the best bullpen in the majors. You have Bumgarner out there. You have the young guy, Yasmero Petit. You have really, really good defenders. You have guys that can hit. They just got Brandon Belt back. You know, they missed him a lot. They're gonna be dangerous. They really are.
Pittsburgh is at home. They're a hot team. I mean, second time in the playoffs. Past couple of years, they know what it takes too. They're hungry, so I mean that's going to be another interesting game. But I think Bumgarner is just a little bit too much for Pittsburgh.
And that's what it comes down to is
It's pitching when it
Pittsburgh
comes to the playoffs.
Pittsburgh can't put a pitcher out there that can mess with.
So San Francisco, the winner of Kansas City, Oakland goes on to play the Angels,
right?
While the Tigers are playing Baltimore,
right?
You got the winner of San Francisco and Pittsburgh playing the Washington National, while the St. Louis Cardinals and the Dodgers are playing.
Yeah.
So we got Oakland and the Angels, the Tigers and Baltimore. We got San Francisco and the Nationals, and the Dodgers and the Cardinals.
That's right.
Let's start with the Dodgers and the Cardinals. Who you got?
It's gonna be an excellent series.
It is.
Really excellent series. But I mean, I don't see how you don't pick the Dodgers. They've been playing incredibly well as of late. Matt Kemp has seemed to have found his stroke again. They have the best pitcher in the world.
That's what I was going to say.
The second coming of Sandy Koufax out there, and it's going to be tough to beat them. I'm going to have to pick the Dodgers.
I mean, if playoff is about pitching, you got Greinke, you got Kershiser. I mean, I call him Crenshaw.
Crenshaw.
Yeah, because he in L.A. You know, Crenshaw Street.
Okay.
That's Crenshaw.
Okay.
I mean, you take that, Matt Kemp,
Clayton Crenshaw.
Yeah, him, Crenshaw.
Hanley Ramirez is
Crenshaw
healthy.
Street. He got a street named after him in L.A. already. That boy is bad. That is a bad boy.
Yeah.
Dodgers.
Yep.
Dodgers. Feel me?
Yeah, I feel you.
Anything else in the National League? Down.
The only team I think that could touch them would be the Giants.
Only team that scares me, and they scare me even in that. Haven't the Giants went from the wild card and won the World Series once before?
Yep. And
they really had the personnel to do it again.
They do.
So I'm gonna take the Giants to knock the Nationals off.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, Dodgers, Giants.
I think that's going to be a really good series as well.
They've been battling each other all season.
But again, I don't know if the Nationals have the pitching.
Tigers, Baltimore. I think Tigers are a more complete team. To me, the Tigers and the Dodgers are the same team.
I was just going to say the Tigers and the Dodgers might be the two most complete teams in the playoffs.
They the same teams.
Because Baltimore has arguably I mean,
They got the bats.
When Chris Davis is right, they have arguably the best lineup in the majors. But yeah, they just really don't have the pitching to hang with anybody.
Right. And it's playoff time.
And they never have. That's something
time.
they thought they had addressed with the Ubaldo Jimenez acquisition.
Right. Stop.
And we saw how that happened.
And then if we got Oakland and the Angels going out, those are two other teams that battled for most of the summer.
Yeah, they know
for
each
first
other.
place.
They know each other really well. But I remember when we first started talking baseball, it was like early summer. Oakland looked like the best team in baseball.
They did.
And our manager Greg, he said that division is Anaheim's, and it was. And
He also said Milwaukee was going to falter, and they did.
And they did too.
We tried to get him on the show, but he kind of tell us he ain't know what was going on.
Well, he's busy. He's a busy guy.
I got to get my picks from Greg
The
before I leave here
the
today.
guy knows baseball though. But yeah, he was right about that, and I don't see how Anaheim doesn't take care of Oakland.
Right. Well,
Isn't it weird calling them Anaheim?
look, that's my World Series. That's my World Series.
I agree. I really do. I really do agree because both of these teams have very good pitching and they have complete lineups. And I don't see a team. I don't see how Anaheim doesn't have the pitching to hang with Detroit. They just don't. They just don't. They have every bat you could ever possibly want.
Only team that's gonna mess with them guys right there is these guys or them San Francisco Giants. The only two teams that scare me. But I'm taking my Tigers to win the World Series.
To win the World Series.
It's due time. It was last done by us in '84. It's about that time. I mean, we got the pitching. We got to get it done because this team gonna start to fall apart soon. So it's now or never.
That's right. We'll see.
Watching the sports show. We'll be back next week.
Yep.
We got to talk a little bit more college football.
Yeah, we'll do
We got to
that.
start our NBA preview.
We do have to do that, too.
Media day was the other day.
Yeah.
And start to snowball. It's that time. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. We're out of here the next week. This is the big homie.
Alex Squares.
I am Ty House. Go Tigers. Peace.
What's Taupe now?
Our town, our TV. Amherst City Cable.